Joining me now is Dr. Kavita Patel, former health policy director for the Obama White House. Could you fact check the president on the arrival of the vaccine?
Yeah, the president clearly does need to be fact-checked, Andrea. So yesterday, the Food and Drug Administration actually held a public advisory committee meeting where they reviewed the process. And simply put, data needs to be evaluated and monitored. Manufacturers, private companies need to apply to the FDA. And the FDA is under a lot of pressure to make sure that the bar is high for safety, which all means, Andrea, that even if there were a vaccine approved, it would likely be a very narrow approval for a very limited population, healthcare workers, maybe nursing home residents and other vulnerable people, and that the United States and most Americans will not see a vaccine at least until late spring, early summer. And the military, by the way, found yesterday's announcement, quote unquote, of the military being ready to distribute in seconds a surprise. And many were kind of concerned that this is setting up the military to somehow take the fall for being the bad guys and not being able to get a vaccine out. But candidly will not be ready until next year.
And the president said about the pandemic, Dr. Patel, again, he said this, that we are rounding the corner. It's going away. Well, let's listen to what else he had to say.
There is a spike. There was a spike in Florida, and it's now gone. There was a very big spike in Texas. It's now gone. There was a very big spike in Arizona. It's now gone. And there are some spikes and surges in other places. They will soon be gone.
But Dr. Patel, he's saying this as we have 39 states with double-digit increases in COVID-19 cases. We had a record high number of daily new coronavirus cases just yesterday, with more than 77,000. And the COVID Tracking Project did a snapshot of this third surge, indicating that it's not that there will be an epicenter like in the first two surges, if you take a look at what they just looked, but it's going to be everywhere.
Yeah, that's correct.
We can show the final map.
Yeah, the map is really disheartening because we're now seeing 60 to 70,000 new cases a day, approximating 1,000 deaths a day. We're going in the wrong direction. States like Texas, by the way, are reopening COVID units. So any improvements that they had made recently are now being reversed in the majority of the country. In Utah, one of the largest hospital centers was closed to trauma because they were so full of COVID cases and other hospitalizations. So, Andrea, simple fact across the United States is it's quite the opposite. We're heading into a much more concerning, not turning the corner or improving.
Now, voters say that health care is the top issue, and that is the issue that certainly drove voters in 2018. Here's what the president had to say, and former Vice President Joe Biden, about the health care and Obamacare last night.
What I would like to do is a much better health care, much better, will always protect people with pre-existing. So I'd like to terminate Obamacare, come up with a brand new, beautiful health care.
He's been talking about this for a long time. He's never come up with a plan. I guess we're going to get the pre-existing condition plan the same time we get the infrastructure plan.
I mean, they're in court, the Supreme Court on November 10th, the week after the election, trying to kill Obamacare. And you can't just come up with a new health care plan overnight. He's been promising it now for 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely, Andrea. Look, I worked on the Affordable Care Act 10 years ago. The simple fact is that Barack Obama advocating for health care helped to take us from 51 million Americans being uninsured down to a record number of only 19 million people that lacked health care. And then when Donald Trump took over, his reversal and introducing these junk plans that offer no health care to people and taking away the individual mandate. Andrea, the simple fact is more Americans lack health insurance than they did 4 years ago. There has been no replacement. And honestly, creating the fear-mongering around, quote, Biden care, that there will be a public takeover of all health insurance, is also a lie. All that Vice President Biden is talking about is giving Americans an option that could actually be cheaper in order to be able to make it affordable for every American to have health care.
Dr. Kavita Patel, as always, thank you so much.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.